Hello everyone, my name is Roya, and today I will be telling you all about the books that I read in the the first half of July. I totally forgot what month we were on for some reason. I don't know. But anyway, this is the first half of July. I read 4 books. I was hoping to read a lot more, but life happened. I'm trying to get the hard part of this copywriting business off the ground before my unemployment bonuses run out because I really don't know if I'm going to be able to find a job or not, or any of that stuff. And even if I do, I really need to get this, the hard part of this done, before then anyway. But we'll see what happens. But anyway, so I've mostly just been trying to get a bunch of copywriting stuff done so that I can have a website and have all this stuff done, all that craziness. But anyway, I was able to read 4 books, so I'm just going to tell you about them. So the first book that I read, it seriously took me forever to read this book just because anxiety and things are going on with the pandemic and things, but I honestly could not put this book down. I would have finished it in a day if it weren't for stupid pandemic stuff getting in the way. And that is Goddess in the Machine by Laura Beth Johnson. This is a copy sent to me by Penguin Teen. They actually did send me a physical copy, even though they've only really been doing ebooks for review copies lately, just in light of the pandemic and whatnot. But they did have physical copies of this one. So and I'm really, really glad that I read this in the physical format because I absolutely loved the crap out of this book. It's insane. So this is about a girl who, in about 100 years from now, gets cryogenically frozen for a 100-year journey to a new planet, but she actually gets woken up 1,000 years later, and the entire world has a completely different society. She has no idea what the heck is going on, and they think she's a goddess because she came out of a grave, which is the cryo tank that she was frozen in, all that stuff. So this book has so many things it's keeping from you that you have to read to find out, and it is so good. And seriously, there's a twist halfway at the exact halfway point of the book where I did not see that coming, and I nearly threw the book across the freaking room. What the fuck? So but then it still had so many twists and turns throughout the entire thing. Some of them were really predictable because you kind of are given clues earlier, but that one twist, seriously, I was like, what the fuck? And it actually takes into account the fact that speech changes in that amount of time. So the way that she actually can't understand what people are saying and stuff because the way that they talk is so different. It's so well thought out, and I loved this book so much. I got a copy of White Rage by Carol Anderson from the library. This is basically it's a nonfiction book that sort of outlines a lot of what history is, sort of from the Black American perspective that we aren't necessarily taught in school. I'm sure every Black person in America knows all of this that's in this book pretty much, but the rest of us probably not, because we weren't really taught that in school. So essentially, it starts off kind of talking about segregation, and because what I recall in school is basically, oh, they had to drink out of different water fountains, so there was a water fountain for white people and water fountains for Black people, and the Black people got a slightly lesser quality water fountain. Actually, it's so much worse than that. So basically, there are certain jobs that the Black people could only have certain jobs, and they also were not allowed to hunt and fish, which back then, that's kind of, how a lot of people got their food. So they really couldn't, they had to be working, and they had to be doing some kind of labor crap, just like when people were enslaved. So it's kind of bullshit that so they're almost not even really free at that point, which is just such crap. So then fast forward to where they're able to build some schools and whatnot, and so there are schools that black kids can actually go to, but they're like so crappy to the point where the city would spend like no money on them. So it kind of actually outlines how much in different cities are spending on like black kids versus white kids per school, and the schools for white kids are spending like significantly more per student, and it's ridiculous. So essentially the education of the black kids really went downhill to the point where once they are able to be integrated into the white schools, they actually are so far behind that it's almost not even worth it. They're almost not even getting an education, and a lot of people end up dropping out anyway. And so there's a lot of stuff in there that's like, wow, I did not realize just how freaking bad that was. And then it kind of like goes all the way through a lot of different things. It's actually a very quick read. It's not a long book at all, but it really goes through a lot. It goes through the war on drugs and how that was basically race baiting and all kinds of stuff, and all the way up through like the presidential election. Next, I read The Kingdom of Back by Marie Lu. This was also from the library. This is a historical fantasy about Mozart's sister who actually was extremely skilled herself, but who nobody knows about, and kind of her growing up as a woman in society, not being really supposed to compose, but she does anyway. And then, like, just all kinds of stuff. So both siblings end up going into this like crazy world where like she has to basically bargain for what she wants, which is to be remembered in history, where it shouldn't just be her brother just because he's a boy and she's a girl and blah blah blah, but like really there's a lot of stuff going on that is not what it seems, and it was a really compelling read the whole time, and I really liked it. And finally, I read A Golden Fury by Samantha Coho. This is an e-arc from NetGalley, so it is not yet out, but it is on NetGalley, and I was super stoked to read this. This was actually one of my most anticipated books of the year, and it didn't quite live up to the hype for me, but I did think it was really good still. So this is about a girl who is an alchemist. She was raised by her mother, who is an alchemist, all of that. So she is trying to make a philosopher's stone because obviously she's an alchemist. Who the heck doesn't want to make a philosopher's stone for no real reason? Just, they just want to because it's what you do, I guess. Anyone who tries to make the Philosopher's Stone and gets to a certain point actually goes insane. And so it's really weird. So I'm not going to give anything away, really, but it definitely does have, like, the most creative take I've ever seen on, like, a Philosopher's Stone. It's a really good book, and I definitely recommend it. So that is everything that I read in the first half of July. They were all 4 or 5 stars. Let me know if you've read any of these books, have any thoughts on them, and I will see you very soon with a new video. Bye!